Hi everyone. Hello. Welcome.
Hello.
Hi.
Welcome on the stage of the Global Online Women Empowerment Summit.
Thank
Hope
you,
you like
Andrea.
it. So, hi everyone from the audience. I want to say hi. This is an amazing group again. We have Sameeta here, Sema, Jamuna, Wassim, and Mala, and they will do and showcase for you a session of social poker. What does it mean? They will explain. Enjoy the session. I will go background and support them silently. Bye.
Bye. Thank you,
Yeah,
Andrea.
thank you very much.
Thank you, Andrea.
So I was thinking that before we begin the game, social poker, let's get to know one another first. I'll start with myself. I'm Sameeta. I'm an art therapist, and at the same time, I also design programs and I facilitate sessions. Who would like to go next?
Okay, I'll go next. I'm Mala Dorasamy, and I work at the Malaysia International Trade and Exhibition Centre. I'm the Director of Marketing and Sales, and I sell amazing experiences. That's our specialty, and we look forward to the session. Thanks, welcome to everybody, and we're looking to a very meaningful session today.
All right, I will go next. Hi, everyone. So glad to be here. I'm Jamuna Karmehen from Malaysia. I'm a master neuro-linguistic programming coach, and I specialize in sales and communication skill. I run a training and consultancy in Malaysia.
Thank you, Jamuna.
So I'll go next. I'm Dabboussi. I'm from India. I am an educator from last 2 decades and a principal of a school. I'm a life coach and I'm a forever learner. Being a teacher, you need to be forever learner. So looking forward for a lovely session, which is a surprise for all of us. So let's see how it goes.
Thank you,
Hey,
Dr.
everyone.
Sima.
Hey, Dr. Sima. Hey, everyone. My name is Wassim Dabboussi. I'm also a Master NLP Practitioner. My focus is both personal development and business development, and I'm the co-founder of the Muslim Boss Movement.
Thank you. So let's begin. Let me share my screen. Okay, can everyone see my screen?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so social poker, it just simply means facilitating meaningful conversation with a group of strangers. So anyone who's watching this program, we actually do not know each other, and today is the first time we are meeting up. So this is going to be very interesting to see how things unfold. I'm sure you have heard about this, where people say that when I'm talking, no one's listening, or I don't feel understood, or why can't people get me? So whenever I hear this kind of things, I always like to take a few steps back. What is a conversation? If we refer back to Merriam-Webster, she says conversation is an oral exchange of sentiments, observations, opinions, or ideas between people. I would like to think conversations like this, this picture over here. People group together in a bonfire and just talking freely about their experiences in life, what they have been through, and engaging with one another at a deeper level. So now, collectively, I would like to understand, what do you understand with meaningful conversation? And I'll just key in over here so that we can set the context of our session. So anyone would like to start? What do you understand with meaningful conversation?
For me, a meaningful conversation is an authentic conversation that digs deep into the person's desires and their emotions, and they're open about how they feel to get to a certain outcome.
Okay. Anyone else?
I
So
think
for
if I
me-
can go first, Dr. Sima.
So for me, meaningful conversation means wherein whatever I want to convey to second person, the receiver needs to receive it the way I wish to convey.
Okay, receive it the way it was conveyed. Anyone else?
I think for me, if I can go next, a meaningful conversation would be something that has real purpose. It's open-minded, authentic. Um, you feel the focus and vulnerability of the person, and there's some empathy in it. So you want to feel the emotion. Is there purpose to this conversation?
Okay, so authentic, the way we receive it should be the way it was conveyed, purpose, connected, empathy. Anything else that you feel when a conversation is happening, something needs to happen?
Needs to be engaging.
Yeah, engaging. And if I may add, it is a two-way of a value creation, and not just one person is receiving or experiencing the value of the conversation. So it's a two-way, both parties are benefiting.
So two-way communication, does it mean that someone needs to listen?
Obviously.
Okay, so when we listen, what kind of intent should we have?
I think to gain a better understanding, so you've got to really have active listening, to be able to contribute to what the person's saying, so that you can find out the purpose of the discussion and contribute to it.
Okay, so to the benefit of people who are watching this show, how would you define active listening?
So wherein the purpose and the meaning is comprehended well. So if you comprehend it, then as Mala said, you can also become a part of it, and you can then share your opinion, and you can become a part of the conversation. It won't be then one-way passive conversation, but two ways active conversation.
Okay, so do we listen to understand, or do we listen to reply?
I would say listen to understand.
Seek to understand, definitely.
I'm trying to understand you and then listen to what you're saying. It's a tough one.
Okay, so now we have defined what meaningful conversation is. It has to be authentic, deep, open. We need to listen to understand before we reply. It needs to have a purpose, connected. It needs to be engaging. So I hope we all will embody this before we proceed to the next one. So in order for a meaningful conversation to happen, what will support you to be open, to have empathy and all this? Anyone?
Yeah, my opinion is that body language, the non-verbal expressions from my audience or the listeners to show that they are receiving at least a little bit of what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
Okay.
Shifts in people's mindset and shifts in behavior and mindset.
How do you see this?
Well, first of all, with behavior, going back to what Jamuna was saying, if you're watching the body language correctly, you can sense the person's reaction on the internal level and get their emotional response by having really strong sensory acuity. If you have that and be able to recognize that, then you can understand, if you're having a meaningful conversation, what kind of shifts are happening within the person as you're talking to them.
Nice. Anyone else?
You also need to be a good observer to let meaningful conversation flow, because as Jamuna rightly said, when we observe, we see the body language, we see the curiosity level, we see whether the person is just nodding or the person is in his or her own dreamland. So we need to observe our audience or the person who is receiving the conversation. That will strengthen our conversation.
Be present.
Yeah. I also think, you pick up on people's energy levels. If you have a positive energy, you have a good intent, and you're open-minded, and you're not just talking with not giving the full story, I think you pick up on that energy levels.
Okay, wonderful. So now we know what will support us to have meaningful conversation. What are the things that will not support us to have this meaningful conversation that we intend to have in a few minutes' time?
Being stuck in your ego or being stuck in your head. So being internal, and not being so the ego can get in the way.
Okay. Okay. Anything else?
Maybe if I could share, if I could share an example when I have a conversation with my 13-year-old son, and he has that face. Can I say poker face since you're playing social poker? And he has a face that he's not affected in whichever way that I'm speaking. So how probably Sameeta, you could share some insight on that. But he's listening, but there's no expression at all.
Let's just say expressionless.
So at times, the attitude that I know everything and I am the best becomes the biggest hindrance in meaningful conversations.
Superiority. Yes, that's true, because I think we should also have this mindset that there's always something that I don't know, and there's something that that person might know. So we should have that sense of amazement that I'm going to learn something new. Yeah, so you shouldn't feel superior. Okay, anything else?
I think it's important not to have a blinker vision. You kind of just think in one way and it's only your opinion that counts. I think we're on this lifelong journey of learning, so it's important to listen to other people's opinions. You learn something new every day, and I think every one of us can contribute to these conversations.
Yep. Anyone wants to add anything else? Just one last point before we move forward. Anything that will not support for us to have a meaningful conversation?
Underlying agenda.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's a good
absolutely.
one.
Yeah, not authentic at all. Okay. So now let's move ahead. So the game is about to begin. So let's have some ground rules. So when we are talking about our experience, let's try not to preach. We use the word me or I because this is about me or I. We don't try to use the word us or you because this experience that you have is about you. And we are going to share our experiences to a group of strangers to have a meaningful conversation. We don't want to impose our experience, or we don't want to compare our experience, or if I've gone through a massive heartbreak, I do not want to compare my heartbreak, how bad was it compared to yours. We are not here for that. We are here to listen to one another, to have a conversation about it, and then we move ahead. So you'll be asked a question. The question will pop out on my screen. And the next slide will show you a deck of cards, only 5 cards. You need to pick one card based on the question. And immediately after that, because we have time constraints, have a conversation based on the card. And your conversation should not be more than 1 minute. I read this quote somewhere. A meaningful conversation is like a mini skirt, short enough to retain interest, but long enough to cover the subject. So let's be mindful of the time, and let's not get too carried away with our own conversation. But try to make it as engaging as possible. So is everyone ready?
Yeah.
Yes.
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 Okay. Question number 1. We grew up admiring a certain person. This person could be anyone from a family member to teachers and friends. Share with us who this person is and why you feel this characteristic describes this person the most. Okay? Got it?
Yeah.
Okay, now the cards. So you need to pick a card. And whenever you're ready, you can share with us.
Are the cards going to come up on the screen?
No, it's just going to be like this. So you need to mention which card you're picking. And then say, for example, if the card I pick is about love, then I'll talk about love based on the experience,
okay.
person that I
Okay.
admire. And why I say that this person embodies love.
So what are the cards? Because on our screen, I can only see the rules.
Oh, okay. Let me unshare
That's
again.
why I think we're all confused. There we go. Now,
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Can you see it now?
Yes.
Okay.
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 So I think we missed the screen before that. What was the screen before this one?
The question.
What was the question? I missed it.
Can you see the question now?
No.
Okay. What about now?
Now we can, yeah.
Okay, then I will not enlarge my screen. I'll just keep it this way.
Yeah, this way is better because I think when you enlarge it, we're not seeing it.
Okay. So, yeah. Okay. And then this is the card.
All right. Can I go first?
Yes.
My card is on love, and obviously the person. So my 1 minute starts now, right? The person that I've picked is to speak about will be my father. And until now, the only thing that I could see every time when I see him is the word love, and that's because he's just so caring, loving until now, and we are all girls family, and he treated my sisters and my mom as like princess. So yeah, so the person that I admire the most and the card that I choose is love. And I think I'm getting emotional just speaking about him. And this year we are going through some difficult time with my mom's health, but he never gave up on her and on love.
That's beautiful, Jamuna. We have something in common. I have all sisters as well. So total 4 girls. And my dad also treated us as princess. In fact, as when we were growing up, he would say that you are not my daughters, you're my sons.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So yeah, nice, Jamuna. We have something in common. Who would like to go next?
Okay, I'll go next. Is that okay?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. I think I'm going to go for happiness. And the reason I choose that, I think when I think of happiness, I think of my mother. I think she's, from growing up, she sacrificed a lot in her life to ensure that we were happy. And also, I think everything she did was such positive energy that it's refueled me growing up, knowing that she did it for the happiness of us, but also she was happy just doing it for us. You in everything she did, it wasn't a rule; it was part of her life in terms of what she did for us. So it became automatically a part of our life and not a lesson. So whether it was cooking or teaching us or guiding us through life, everything gave her that happiness to do it. So I think it's a philosophy that I get up with every morning that when I get out of bed, before I put my feet on the ground, I've got to feel happy that my day is going to be that journey of happiness. So you're making that right decision from the time you get up. And I think you want that energy to transfer you through life. So I think for me, my mother embodies the whole thing of happiness.
Wow, that's lovely. I like when the minute your feet touch the feet, the minute your feet touch the ground, you think of happiness. What a wonderful way to start your day. Anyone else?
So I'll go with growth. And when I think of growth, I think of my father, because if I have to ever describe me, I always say there's nothing that ends with ing that I have not done, whether it's gliding or it's parasailing, horse riding, pistol shooting. And I think that is only because the kind of growth mindset and environment my father has provided me. We never had any kind of barriers when it comes to you are a girl, you should not do that. So that growth vision, the growth mindset, I think became my biggest strength, and that is the strength which is helping a lot in my professional life also, because that is the kind of energy I can now give it to my students. So growth for me is my father's mindset.
Amazing. I think that is so in line with this summit, right? All about empowerment. Your dad empowered you so much. Wonderful.
For me, I'm going to go with happiness. I'm actually going to choose my wife. I know some of them we grew up admiring, but I've known my wife from a very young age. And she's always been a person from the very young age, in my early teenage years when I met her. She's always been a person that's always had a smile on her face, no matter what was going on in the world, no matter what was going on in her life. She always managed to smile. And even to now, after I've spent most of my life with her, so that's why she's so connected. She's always smiling. No matter what happens, she can always find a way to smile and be happy. And for me, that has caused me to realize that happiness is a decision that we make, not a state that is conditional to what is around us.
Awesome. So this is round one. Now you have completed round one, question one. Refer back to your Google form. There are 2 questions over there. Please answer it and then let me know once it's done so we can move to question number 2. Are you done?
So we don't submit yet, right?
No, don't submit yet because there are 5 scenarios, so 5 questions. We are going to move to the second one now.
All right.
So if you find there's anything in common that you have with the person who's having a conversation, you can say, hey, I have something in common with you. Or if there's something that you're curious about, you can ask a question as well so that we can start interacting with one another at a deeper level now. Is that okay? Only if you're comfortable asking question, or if you feel that, like me and Jamuna, we have something in common. Our dad treated us the same way. And with Dr. Seema, our dad was very empowering. So yeah, if you have anything in common, just say it, and you can reinforce it as well, especially if it's a happy moment. Why not? So ready to the next one?
Yep.
Okay, awesome. Question 2. At this present moment, looking back at the person you admire, which characteristic do you embody? Share with us how this person influenced you to be the person you are now. Or perhaps there was no influence at all. It is something you had in you all this while. Okay with the question?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, the deck of cards are the same, but you can choose a different card, or if you want to choose the same one, it's entirely up to you. When you are ready, you can start sharing with us.
I'll go first this time, if it's okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to choose growth. And again, going back to the person I admire being my wife and her constant happiness, it caused me to realize, like I said, that I can grow into becoming a happy person. I came from a war-torn country, so I saw a lot of really atrocious things growing up. And she was able to bring happiness back into my life when I came out to Australia, and that helped me grow into the person that I am today.
Wow. So
Wow.
which war-torn country are you from?
I'm from Lebanon, so I was in Lebanon during the civil war.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've met a wonderful lady from Lebanon when I was at Melbourne, and she has the same traits as you are. Same, come from a difficult place, but she's one of a very successful businessman in Melbourne.
Awesome. Love to meet her. Who is she? We should connect.
Yeah. These people,
All right.
these kind of people are always so inspiring. How they
All
build
right.
back their lives again.
So I will just share. The person that I spoke about was my father, and it's a very interesting question number 2 that you've put in, Sameeta. Because I'm gonna talk about a lack of balance. So my card is balance, but I'm gonna talk about lack of balance on how my dad, that he put so much priority for other people compared to him. So in a way, that trait, I did not embody that. I did not follow that. I put priority for myself to, in terms of loving everyone. I hope guys who are listening, it makes sense, because I'm talking about a lack of balance for him. Yeah.
Okay.
I think
So his lack of balance helped you to be more balanced in life?
Exactly. You've summed it up nicely. Yep.
Okay. Thank you, Jamuna.
I think I'm going to agree with Jamuna. I think I bear her sentiments. When I think of my mum, while she created all this happiness and tried to deliver the very best for us, I think the decision I made in my life is, yes, I'd like to carry on with doing amazing things, but I think I wanted a lot more balance, or should I say rhythm in my life. Whilst I want to give my family and my job everything, uh, the me time and trying to make sure I can balance that is very important. Trying to make sure that I also gain my happiness, and you don't have to sacrifice everything. Whilst I know I do a lot, and sometimes as women we go guilty of going above and beyond and trying to be perfectionists. I think as you grow older, you realize the importance of getting that balance, and making sure that you stay happy and focused.
Yeah.
So I think I'll add to what Mala said, because I think most of us have grown during a similar kind of generation wherein our parents have given us everything. So for me also, my father, though he maintained a good growth mindset and we were provided with everything that we wanted to do, we were thrown for every challenges and everything. But when it comes to balance, that is one thing which I have not taken from him, because he did not pay attention to his own health, his own happiness, his own me time. And I realized these are something which are very important for life. So we have to divide our life into different compartments, whether it's your professional life or your personal life, or it's your me time. Your me time at the end of the day is necessary. It's you who matter a lot. So that's something that I have not taken from my dad. Though being so visionary, this is one area wherein he lacked.
I think we have lots in common, yeah? Most of us have picked the card balance. Interesting. So go back to the Google form now and answer the questions over there. And once you're done, let me know and we'll go to the next scenario, the next question.
All right.
Okay, everyone done?
Yeah.
Okay. So question 3. If given the opportunity, how would you arrange these cards based on what is important to you? And why do you choose to arrange it this way? Okay? Okay with the question?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So, how would you arrange this card based on your priority, and why would you arrange it in that particular sequence?
This is a very, very difficult one. Very difficult. I'm looking at these and they're all very high priority. Love is very high priority. So is balance, so is happiness, so is trust, so is growth. This is a very, very challenging question.
Sameeta, are you doing a profiling of us?
Oh no, there's no profiling. This is just having meaningful conversation with strangers so that we can find do we have anything in common? Yeah.
If I had to choose one, are we doing it live or are we just writing it down?
Just write it down and let us share it with us. What would your sequence be, and why do you pick it that way? There's no right or wrong answer because we are all different people and we have different priorities, and our sequence might be different as well. So it's absolutely fine.
I think I'm going to go with mine.
Okay.
For me, I would choose happiness as my first card because I believe if you're happy, you generally would have chosen everything around these cards to give you the balance you want. So mine would be happiness, trust, love, balance, and then growth. Because if you have all the other cards, you ultimately get growth. I feel those cards fully encapsulate for me what I would want, I think, in life or in this sort of scenario.
Okay. Yeah, it's very much in line with what you have said previously because you spoke about your mom, about happiness, and then how you wake up every morning. And happiness is your priority. Wonderful. Who would like
All
to go
right,
next?
I'll go next. That's very nice, Mala. That's very nice what you said. I could also resonate with you. My number one would still be love. I'm all about love. When you have a lot of love, you are passionate, and then you become happy, and then there is a balance and equilibrium in the things that you're doing, and then trust, and finally it's the growth, and then only you can grow when your inner self you grows, your outer circle grows also. So in that sequence, love, happiness, balance, trust, growth.
Interesting. Because when I saw this card, I was like, what would I choose? My first card would be love as well, but the second one would be trust. Yeah, we have a lot in common, Jamuna. Okay, what about the others? Dr. Seema and Wassim. Who would like to go next?
I will go next, and for me, it will be love, because if your heart is full of love, there will be happiness all around. And when there is happiness all around, I think it will enable you to become a balanced person. And if you're a balanced person, you will know how to trust, when to trust, whom to trust. So that goes hand in hand. And when everything is in sync, it is love, it is happiness, it is trust, and it's balance, definitely growth is going to take place. So this is how I'll go.
High five, Dr. Seema.
Yeah.
For me, again, very, very challenging because all these things are very important. So I've gone with love being number one because I believe that love makes the world go around, and if you are filled with love, you can have happiness, you can have growth, you can have balance, you can have trust. Growth is number two for me because it's one of the highest six human needs. So if we're not growing, we're dying. So it's always important for me to grow, become a better person. Trust is also very, very high value for me in my life because you've got to trust the people that you have in your life. If you don't trust them, they don't trust you. You're not going to be able to have happiness. Then happiness, and then balance. Balance is probably the lowest one for me because that's something that I'm working on having more and more balance in my life. I tend to be a tend to be the type of person where I'm excited about something, I put a lot of effort into it, and then I let other parts of my life to not suffer, but not get as much attention. So, yeah.
Nice. So I think the majority went for the first card, love, and the last card was growth. That was the majority that picked. So we are finding more things in common between us. Interesting. So go back to the Google form and then rate it again. Once you're done, come back here. Everyone done?
Yeah.
Okay. Now let's see what question we get next. So listening. Question 4. At this present moment, listening to your friends now, what would be the 3 characteristics you have in common? Whom do you feel most connected with? And does this surprise you? So when we all came in the room, we didn't know about each other much other than our names and our designation and what we do. So in the 4th question, we need to reflect back based on what we have listened about each other. Take the 3 characteristics that you have in common. Whom do you feel most connected with? And does this surprise you? And the cards are the same. Whenever you're ready.
I will go first. Oh,
just a minute, Jamuna. Just feel free to ask questions to one another if anything makes you curious about it, or if you want to add on something to it. Okay, Jamuna, go ahead.
All right. I feel connected to Mala, even though our value chain is slightly different. I guess since the first time we've established this whole group thingy, I feel a sense of connection with her. I'm not sure whether she feels the same. Probably we are in Malaysia and we have a similar background and in the work that we're doing. And today I feel connected to, of course, Sameeta and Dr. Seema by hearing the things that we have in common. Wassim, I am connected to you in a way of how you keep on mentioning about your wife in your session that you are saying. So I that resonates the relationship I have with my husband. So in that way, yeah. I'm not sure I've answered your question since you said there's no right or wrong, Sameeta.
I was just about to probe you further. So what are the 3 characteristics that really stood out for you in anyone that you have just
All right.
mentioned?
So I guess I will go with Mala because she has this expression. I'm a kinesthetic person. And all throughout the whole conversation, she has this smiley face. So I felt the physical, even though it's a virtual physical connection.
Okay. Thank you, Jamuna. Who would like to go next?
I think I'll go next.
So okay.
Sorry, if you want to go.
No, please go ahead.
I think for me also, it would be a bit of Jamuna and Dr. Seema. I think it's their upbringing possibly that I can relate to. But I think we take a little from each person because while we've got Dr. Seema and Jamuna having very similar upbringings and their belief for balance and growth, I take a lot from Wassim, who's so engaging. If I look at, what you share with your wife, and I look at my husband as well, I think we share a lot of love for them. And we value that whilst we're all very different people. I think we have a lot to share. And I look at Wassim's background in terms of where he came from. And I think about, through these trials and tribulations, it makes you such a strong person that you're able to cope with a lot more in life. So yes, that's what I take off from everybody.
Thank you.
Nice.
I would, for me, is Jamuna. Jamuna. I know so many Jumunas, so I get confused. And I think with Jamuna, one of the things that really connected with me is number one, her, when she chose the card, she chose love as her number one, and that really connected me. And when I found out she's an NLP, master NLP coach, and in sales, it really connected with me. And I know that through some conversations and looking at her profile, she was also in the pharmaceutical world. So I feel there's a lot in common between us. She's in Malaysia, I'm in Australia, but we've done very similar things in life. And then when she spoke about her son and the glazed or poker face, I imagined my 15-year-old doing the same thing. So I really connected with that. Marla, I connected with you too when you said that you sell amazing experiences and what you do in life as a sales manager and so forth. And all of you talking about your parents and the love that you have with your parents really took me back to my childhood. So that's Dr. Sameeta with your dad and everything ending with ING. That really stood out for me, that you have that growth mindset. That connected to me too, because that's something that I didn't have growing up. I had to build that. So it took me back to my childhood and who I had in my life that had a growth mindset. And I had to really dig deep, because coming from where I came from, it was challenging to have that kind of mindset.
Nice.
So that's lovely. And so last but not the least, so when it comes to Jamuna, the way I felt connected, she spoke about love, but the way she spoke about love, it was like the passion that she believes in that word. It's not just the word for her. Her entire body was oozing out that attitude. So that is what I feel is something that connects you to your audience. And similarly, when Mala spoke about happiness, happiness was not just a word for her. Happiness was a way of life for her, which was full of attitude of gratitude. And that is what instantly hit me hard. And then coming to our sole male member in the family right now, the family that we are sharing on screen, so beautifully he has given a new narrative to the relationship. See, we do talk about our husbands, we do talk about our wife, but he's not just speaking about the love and happiness, he's also speaking about the role she plays in his life and how he and she, they are moving together. So that is something wherein respect comes, wherein trust comes, wherein mutual understanding comes. So that was so very lovely. And the best part I liked about our beautiful moderator is the way she is making us feel comfortable. So this is so good, because when you make your audience feel comfortable, I think meaningful conversation can take place. And that is how I felt connected to each one of you. And rightly said, we learn from each other, and it's so much of learning, so much of learning.
Thank you so much, Dr. Seema. That's wonderful. So go back to your Google form, rate it, and then come back here. Let me know when you're ready. And then we'll go to the last question.
So like a good teacher, you are ensuring that we do our work.
Then you're rating it.
I would agree to that.
I think we were all so super nervous about this game of poker. So, Sameeta, thank you very much for the comfort level.
Thank you
Yes,
for
you've
this.
definitely
And
made
you
it
did not
very
want to
easy.
give up a single cue on what it would be. So, yeah, it helped us settle with all those butterflies.
Yes, and the best is we did not come with any preconceived notion. So we were all like a blank slate and blank blackboard, and I think you have written a new narrative on us today.
Thank you for being so sporting. Is everyone ready for the next one?
Yes.
Hi everyone. Hi everyone. I have to come on board. I had
Hi.
to come on board. Hi, because it's 12:45, so that was the cutoff for the game. I don't know how much you have left.
This is the last one. Is it okay?
Alright.
Or
How many minutes does it take so that I can know?
It's another 3 minutes and then we're done.
3 minutes, perfect. So the audience will have you for 3 more minutes. Thank you for watching. It's an amazing game. I think you all have fun with them, and they are opening up in front of everyone through this game. And Sameeta, you did an amazing job. So you have 3 minutes to go, and have a beautiful day. And thank you very much for this one. Thank you very much for.
Thank you, Andrea. Okay, so the last one, maybe we won't take everyone's inputs, just 1 or 2 people, then we can wrap it up. So based on these cards, what would be the one incident that left a deep impact in your life, but accelerated your growth spiritually, emotionally, and mentally?
Wassim, I think since you're the thorn among the roses, we leave it to you. How about that, ladies? Let's, Since we only have 3 minutes, you go ahead, Wassim.
Yes.
Wow, thank you very much. I was hoping to take the back seat for that one. One event. I know it's going to sound very, very corny right now, especially after all the comments you guys made about all the comments I made about my wife. But that one event was meeting her. She had a massive impact on my life. She came into my life at a very, very young age when I was trying to find my identity, and she really helped shape that. And she was there for me for a long time in my life through my ups and downs. So it all comes down. For me, that event was a pivotal moment in my life, and I'm very, very grateful for that.
That's nice. Well, because we are coming very close to the end, I would just like a quick debrief. Like, what do you think about this entire session? What was the key takeaway for each one of you on this meaningful conversation, on this social poker?
My key takeaway will be listening, because this is an area that I'm also improving on, to listen and to connect with your participants and not just talk.
Yeah.
So mine is be ready for anything that life throws you.
Yeah, true.
Mine is active listening. The active listening, just to listen deeper and deeper and being present.
I think I have to agree with Wassim. For me, active listening, to stay engaged.
Do you feel more connected now compared to before when we just came in?
100%.
Absolutely. I think that we share so much in common. It really is a great session. So thank you.
And we all have we have a variety of backgrounds. I mean, Mala, I know she's from South Africa, has come to Malaysia. Dr. Seema's in India. Jamuna's obviously from Malaysia also. You're from Malaysia. We've all got so many varied backgrounds, and obviously Jamuna's been to Australia, which I found out about that today, and we still have so much in common, which just, to me, just shows that no matter where you are in the world, we all have so many things alike as humans.
Yeah. Thank you so much for being such awesome participants. Please just submit the form and I'll have a look at it later. Thank you so much, Andrea.
Thank you,
Andrea.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. It was wonderful. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
It began with a bold vision to build KL Metropolis, a development that would establish a new international trade and exhibition district in Malaysia, built in partnership with the government by NAZA Group's property arm, NAZA TTDI. The crown jewel of this grand vision is the Malaysia International Trade and Exhibition Centre, the preferred international destination for exhibitions and events. Like the fine gold and silver threads of the Songket weave that inspired its facade design, MITEC is the embodiment of refined craftsmanship, creativity and precision. As Malaysia's largest exhibition centre, MITEC's functional spaces are unprecedented. Primed for exceptional displays, surrounded by state-of-the-art facilities and amenities. This iconic structure affirms a commitment to innovative excellence. It is a showpiece of engineering ingenuity. An enduring icon built for a new Malaysian era of success.
It's we still have like 7 minutes, so it just plays the answer. Yeah.